Translation edited by Chinyu. The noble die for their confidence. As someone influenced by Confucian culture, I also hold this view of life. While I doubt whether I could die for a confidant, walking the path with those who understand me, sharing joys and sorrows, is what I pursue. Drinking tea, chatting, climbing mountains, traveling with those who understand me always brings a sense of delight. True friends are hard to find in life. Although they say, grass is green everywhere under the sky, in this finite life, if one finds a confidant, discovers a patch of green grass, and fails to cherish it, assuming there's an abundance ahead, they are likely to miss opportunities and regret for a lifetime. If we do not walk with those who understand us, should we stay with those who do not? Repay kindness received with gushing gratitude is a value I adhere to. When someone helped me at a critical time, pulling me out of a predicament, guiding me out of confusion, showing me hope, healing wounds, how could I forget the pain? Repaying kindness is the virtue of a true gentleman. Repaying kindness with enmity is the conduct of a petty person. Before going abroad, I encountered a confidant who was the CEO of a limited industrial development company that I met after starting my own business. I mentioned his name in the postscript of Life Genuine, saying, "Meeting you during my journey, receiving your help is like being nourished by the rain. I throw a spiritual beam toward the sky, wishing you a smooth journey ahead." This is my blessing for him and for all the other confidants I've encountered on my life journey. After going abroad, I discovered a massive potential market. In gratitude, I soon wrote to this CEO, informing him about the considerable profits from overseas markets. He was excited and promptly replied, appointing me as the manager of the company's overseas department. Everything was running smoothly for a while. To expedite progress, I made a request to the CEO. I need to rent an office, set up a telephone, and buy a car. Please have the corporate headquarters consider this request. Anyone who has run a company overseas knows that an office, a fax machine, and a car are basic necessities. However, those who haven't traveled abroad might think riding a bicycle or taking public transportation suffices. Stalled. After my request, I received no further response from the CEO. Later, I learned that the hitch occurred due to several vice presidents, the CEO's spouse, and caring friends who concerned about him. Upon learning of my request, they cautioned him, saying, "Be cautious, do not fall for his tricks. This person is ambitious, he might be a fraud." A great opportunity, capable of bringing the CEO immense wealth, fizzled out, vanished, and miscarried. This happened in the name of kind concern. Later, the increasing success and growth of many Chinese compatriots in this place confirmed my initial judgment. Instead of the kindness and warnings from those around the CEO, if he had taken swift action and seized the opportunity, this industrial company would have evolved into an entirely different entity. Upon pondering this for a long time, I realized the kindness around the CEO was a kind of evil kindness. Evil kindness always presents itself as sincere, considerate, caring, and "it's for your own good." Yet, it consistently sets invisible obstacles in the way of others' development, ruining their bright prospects. You must be careful. Be cautious not to fall for it. Always be cautious of others. This person is ambitious. You must be cautious. Allow me to speak frankly. I'm doing this for your own good. Evil kindness not only ruins someone's bright future, but can also crush their beliefs, create discord among brothers and sisters, make friends and colleagues turn against each other, cause divorce between spouses, sow hatred between parents and children, lead partners to court, cause the downfall of political parties, dissolve organizations, bring turmoil to nations, and bring disgrace to ethnic groups. Evil kindness is everywhere, always cloaked in kindness, making it hard to guard against. Those with a twisted mind, lacking genuine talent, those with a cunning mind but no substantial intellect, insistent on displaying themselves as frogs at the bottom of a well, and those who cannot argue logically, provide evidence, and thrive on baseless speculation are the breeding grounds of evil kindness. 善良的邪恶, benevolent evil. 邪风. Translation edited by Chinyu. Once while watching Animal World on TV, I came across a scene. A tall tree with a bird's nest, a big bird cruelly, driving away a young bird seemingly not fully feathered from the nest. The young bird, panicked, tried to hide, squeezing back into the nest. The bird mother, seemingly lacking any sympathy for her daughter, flapped her wings, squawked, not letting it take a step back, eventually forcing the young bird to fly away from the tree nest and clumsily spread its wings for the first time. The fledgling bird landed clumsily on the grass, and the big bird promptly flew to a branch not far from it, preening its feathers. But observing the newly liberated young bird, chirping and hopping joyfully on the ground, it seemed to say, "Mom, look, I can fly. I can hop on the ground. Life outside is so much freer and comfortable than in the nest. Look, Mom, I can even catch insects. Oh, the outside world is wonderful." At first glance, the mother bird's act of driving away her offspring seemed evil. Yet, upon seeing the joyful scene of the young bird on the ground, I immediately recognized that the mother bird's seemingly evil actions were, in fact, a form of benevolent evil. Inspired by the big bird, I employed a kind of benevolent evil in raising my own child. Starting at 13, my child took charge of the family's dinner, learned to drive at 14, and began driving to school at 16. I never did tasks he could manage himself. At 16, he competed for the position of the student company's general manager and succeeded. Regarding university, I said he could choose any university in the USA, UK, Australia, or South Africa, except elite schools like Harvard or MIT due to unaffordable tuition fees. Eventually, he researched online, contacted universities, and chose a top-ranked university within the global top 100. At 18, he left home, the nest, went to the US and UK embassies to apply for his visa himself, bought a plane ticket, registered in the USA, found accommodation, opened a bank account, and everything went smoothly. Finally, like the big bird, I drove my child out of the nest. Consequently, just like the young bird landing on the grass, he discovered a broader world and a space of freedom beyond the nest. His academic performance remained outstanding, and he received care and support from various quarters. People who know us envy our obedient and sensible child, but little do they know that I employed an evil educational method. Whether educating children, managing employees, or governing countries, leading people should adopt benevolent evil. Pure kindness ultimately harms oneself and others. Only benevolent evil can save both. To those who are ignorant, the most effective approach is to employ a strategy of benevolent evil as they are unresponsive to reason and unmoved even in life-threatening situations. Resorting to a fascist dictatorship is inhumane, leaving us with no option but to employ evil methods. To those who damage nature, those who cause trouble without reason, those who lazily parasitize, and those who are fanatics, the most effective way to rescue them is through a form of benevolent evil. If we spend too much time waiting for them to understand it, it is too late and humanity will be on the brink of catastrophe. Children who cannot swim insist on bathing in the river, those unfamiliar with electricity want to touch high-voltage wires, those lacking faith insist on freedom, and those unfamiliar with Chinese culture and the human spiritual world insist on advocating private ownership. Is it wise for them to follow their own whims without considering the consequences not only for themselves, but also for the future of others and the entire nation? Humanity faces an immense potential disaster. We are standing at the edge of a precipice. It's time to wake up. 98% of people are currently in the nest. Don't you want to fly freely like the young bird? All authoritarian systems are nests. Can there be prospects for those crowded and fussing within these nests for an extended period? All religions are nests. Can there be prospects for those dreaming with closed eyes within these nests for an extended period? Like the big bird, Life Genuine aims to encourage the young birds to leave the nest. Only by flying out of the nest can you understand the benevolent evil of Life Genuine. Soar into the world, and it becomes yours. Remain behind, and it leads to a dead end. 时来运转. Time brings changes in fortune. Xiefeng. February 7, 2007. Translation edited by Qinyu. All things await their opportune moment to act. When it arrives, greenery flourishes, insects take flight, solid ice melts, thunder is born. When the time has not come, no storms brew, flowers lack buds, gold appears as iron, and even geniuses seem mediocre. All things await their moment to act. When it arrives, injustices are revealed, secrets come to light. The scenery changes from fortune to misfortune. When it's not time, the oxen bully the tigers, cats fear mice, diligent studies go unnoticed, exceptional talents seem worthless. Time, geographical advantage, support of people, time takes precedence. Even with remarkable talent and ambitions spanning the universe, without favorable timing, one can only sip the northwest wind. Even with a heart of passion, without opportune timing, one's efforts find no outlet. Time brings changes in fortune. Without opportune timing, fortunes do not change. Even with full seeds, they'll lie dormant underground. Even with brilliant minds, they'll reside in obscure places. Even with perfect plans, they'll gather dust. Even with resounding voices, they'll only shout in vain. At the right moment, in the turning of fortunes, the ugly duckling may become a white swan. A cowherd leads a million valiant soldiers. A golden phoenix emerges from a mountain nest, and barren lands transform into lucrative markets. Those who bowed their heads lift them high, while those who once held their heads high bow their heads. For some, wealth flows in abundantly, and their career paths are clear. For others, they stumble and face poverty and illness. The heavens have their fortune, nations have theirs, individuals too. If the heavens' fortune falters, so does a nation's, and thus an individual's. If a nation's fortune wanes, it's hard for an individual's fortune to turn. Grass and trees know their seasons. In spring, they thrive. Wise individuals discern opportune moments and create grand achievements in due time. Failing to act when necessary leads to missed opportunities and bad luck. Inappropriately, forcefully, or foolishly acting when one should not turn good fortune into misfortune. Sprouting in winter leads to inevitable demise. Budding in autumn leads to fruitlessness. Sprouting in spring is opportune. Time is fortune. When time brings change, it might be favorable or adverse, depending on one's perception. Time, ever-changing, constantly seeks auspicious winds and timely rains, seeking prosperity for the nation, peace for the people, and harmony throughout the world. With everyone's well-being, there comes good fortune. In the face of widespread misery, personal good fortune is elusive. Fortune is transformative. Apparent good fortune may be substantial misfortune, and apparent misfortune may be substantial good fortune. If heaven intends to grant people good fortune, it might first befall them with misfortune. If heaven intends to bring misfortune to people, it might bestow apparent good fortune first. Whether it is calamity or fortune, it all depends on one's own perspective. 3 elements constitute fortune: life structure, genes, gestation period, and timing. Life structure determines the broad trajectory of fortune. An egg can only hatch into a chick, not into an eagle. A dragon begets a dragon. A phoenix begets a phoenix. A mouse's offspring dig holes. We cannot grow into corn. Ordinary people cannot become geniuses. Not all cowherds can command a million soldiers. Not all music students become Bach, Beethoven, or Mozart. Not all compassionate individuals become Jesus, Buddha, or Muhammad. Not all college dropouts become Bill Gates. The transformation of fortune requires a gestation period. 10 months pregnancy leads to 1 day of childbirth. Peach trees take 3 years, apricots take 4, and walnut trees need 18 years to bear fruits. Without or insufficient gestation, even with opportune timing, fortune is hard to transform. Inspiration favors the contemplative, opportunities embrace the prepared mind, and miracles do not happen on the desert of the soul. Those who eagerly await good fortune must accumulate the basic materials in that direction. Waiting aimlessly will not bring good fortune. All preparations ready, just waiting for the east wind. Only with complete preparation can one utilize the east wind. Without readiness, even with the wind blowing, the fire cannot burn at Chibi. Similarly, without the wind rising, all prior preparations are meaningless. Therefore, good fortune also depends on timing. The 5th, 9th, 11th, 14th, 16th, 17th, 34th, 53rd, and 56th hexagrams of the Book of Changes primarily discuss cultivating and awaiting the opportune moment, awaiting changes in fortune. The cart travels on the road. The horse runs on the track. People walk on paths. Immortals tread immortal paths. Without changing the trajectory of life, a dog remains a dog, and commoners remain commoners. Even when the time comes, it only smooths the trajectory but does not change it. It means that people cannot become immortals. To transition from the trajectory of a human life to that of an immortal, one needs to foster the structure of an immortal life, then step into the immortal path at the opportune moment. Times are changing. Take the opportune moment. The era of networking, combined with the consciousness of the new age, acts as a catalyst for transforming one's life fortune. Today, the information we receive in a day surpasses that of an entire year in the past. Old systems are gradually disintegrating, even collapsing. The times create heroes, and the consciousness of the new age shapes higher dimensional lives. When the time comes, seize the opportunity, align with the international system. Embrace the lifestyle of the immortals, and in doing so, great fortune awaits. 魔鬼的钓饵 Satan's bait. Xiefeng. Translation edited by Qinyu. A friend once shared the art of fishing with me, mentioning the method of using pig feed, vitamins, essential balm, and eggs as bait to lure fish to the hook. The revelation was heart-stopping. Poor fish. How would they know that this tantalizing aroma was nothing but pig feed? How could they comprehend that this bait, disguised as something appealing, spells disaster once consumed? To these fish, the fisherman is the devil. For the devil, these fish are utterly naive. A few simple tricks and they're hooked. In the water, fish only see the fragrant food, oblivious to the devil on the shore. The fish's devil is humans. Then, who is the devil for humans? The mantis hunts the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. The oriole hunts the mantis, unaware of the cobra behind. The cobra hunts the oriole, unaware of the eagle behind. The eagle hunts the cobra, humans behind. Humans hunt the eagle, the devil behind. The devil hunts humans, and behind the devil is the greatest creator. All seek immediate gain, ignoring what comes after. Humans fish, and the devil fishes humans. Humans employ all sorts of tricks to lure the fish. The devil uses all sorts of tricks to hook humans. Adding vitamins, essential balm, and eggs to pig feed lures fish to the hook, just as the devil casts money, power, and lust into the human world, luring humans to the hook. The fish do not know it's a human trap. Humans do not know it's the devil's scheme. The fish cannot see the person behind the trap. Humans cannot see the devil behind the scheme. Ah, fish. Ah, humans. Beware. 生命是这样腐烂发臭的. Life rots and stinks like this. Xiefeng. Translation edited by Qinyu. Today, July 14, 2004, while preparing dinner for my beloved and child, I was frying eggplant and thought of adding some garlic. I fetched a plastic bag containing stored garlic from the storage, opened the bag, and picked a clove. To my surprise, the garlic was darkened, and upon breaking it open, it was rotten. Emptied out all the cloves. Not a single one was spared. It's odd. Normally, garlic does not rot for several months. So why did this bag, purchased just a month ago, turn rotten and stinky? Suddenly, I recalled an incident during a summer business trip within the country. After washing my face with a towel in the morning, I absent-mindedly placed the damp towel inside a plastic bag. I forgot to remove it that day, and the next day when I retrieved it to wash my face again, a gentle twist broke it into two sections. The reason lay in the fact that the moist towel, in the sweltering heat, confined within the plastic bag without contact with external air, turned stale. The gases of staleness within the plastic bag caused the towel to decay, reducing its strength and elasticity, thus making it easily breakable. Yes, the garlic's rot and stink in the plastic bag resulted from its lack of contact with external air. Ordinarily, garlic is placed in a basket, allowing air circulation, hence it remains unchanged for months. It seems that everything material, when not allowed to circulate with external air, inevitably rots and stinks. If material things are like this, then what about non-material things? If a family only allows internal marriages without intermingling with other families, after several generations, this family will inevitably perish. A nation that does not interact with other nations, confined within a singular cultural circle, will eventually decay. A country that isolates itself, refraining from interactions with other nations, will surely decline. Now, what about an individual? If they do not learn from others, avoid communication, isolate themselves, and keep their mental windows closed, over time, they will inevitably become rigid, stubborn, experience ideological stagnation, leading to decay, stagnation, and eventually death. An individual, a family, a nation, a country, such is the case. What about religious groups? Historically, some disappearing religions have also attributed their decline to self-righteousness and arrogance. It's foreseeable that present religions like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, etc., if they hold on to an attitude of superiority, refusing to engage in mutual exchange, cutting themselves off contact with the external air, will inevitably rot and stink as well. The question now is, how can human life prevent rot and stench? The human being is composed of two parts, a material body and a spiritual soul. If the material body does not engage in exchange with the external elements such as air, water, and energy, it will inevitably decay and emit an unpleasant odor, ultimately leading to death. Similarly, if the spiritual soul does not connect with the divine source of the universe, the greatest creator, the soul will also decay and emit an unpleasant odor, resulting in death. A more intriguing question is, if life on Earth chooses to seal itself off and refuses to engage in spiritual communication and contact with life forms beyond Earth, will it also rot, stink, and eventually die? 有眼无珠与买椟还珠. Seeing without recognizing and the folly of buying the casket and returning the jewel. Xiefeng. Translation edited by Qinyu. Everyone desires to possess treasures, be it rare diamonds or exquisite jade, be it wise mentors and supportive friends, or virtuous and beautiful women. It's the intrinsic value that triggers people's longing and pursuit. Among all treasures, the most valuable is the truth that allows life to extend towards higher-level space, the spirit of the greatest creator and the pure and kind hearts of humanity. Treasures are everywhere, appearing and hiding at every turn. Why can't we see or find them? It's because we are blind to the jewel. In 1995, our family hired a lady for the first time. This lady, named Rebecca, learned to cook Chinese food in just 3 days. After she tidied up the house, it was sparkling clean, spotless, well-organized, and neat. Every day, after my beloved and I returned home from work and the kid came back from school, she stood at the door to welcome us, showing concern and casually taking the kid's school bag and our purchases. It felt like we were reuniting with long-lost relatives. Inside the dining room, a table of not-so-sumptuous yet delectable dishes always awaited us. The day's fatigue dissipated in this warm and harmonious atmosphere. At that time, my residence had no flowers or plants outside. However, since Rebecca arrived, she managed to bring in some exotic plants and flowers. 2 months later, flowers blossomed in front and behind the house, creating a splendid scene. Unfortunately, due to our move, we had to let her go after 6 months. More foolishly, we lost the note with her address. A rare and precious jewel was thus lost. Every time we think of Rebecca, my beloved and I deeply sigh, regretting immensely. Such a wonderful woman. Where else could we find her? I am someone who is blind to the jewel. The gem is right in front of us, but we do not cherish it. Once it's gone from us, it's hard to trace it again. One wrong step causes everlasting regret. Discarding the jewel hurts the heart the most. Who should be blamed when blind to the jewel? Blame no one but your own blindness. Blindness to the jewel not only hinders its discovery, but also ensures its eventual loss even if acquired. The story of buying the casket and returning the jewel is due to the people of Zheng State only seeing the gorgeously decorated wooden box but not recognizing the gem inside, leading to a lamentable event spanning ages. The ancients had their foolishness, just as modern individuals can be ignorant. Often encountering bookworms, their memory may be strong, their reasoning abilities not weak. They can eloquently expound on principles, citing references after references. Yet, besides regurgitating some worn-out cliches, There's not a glimmer of wisdom in their discourse. It's not problematic if they lack their own thoughts. However, they insist on using history to shackle and restrict the development of reality, speaking only in traditions and orthodoxy. It's akin to the scholars and Pharisees of Jesus' time. Although Jesus preached the truth, they spouted dogmas, pretending to uphold orthodoxy, vehemently hindering the spread of truth. These individuals are like the people of Zhang State, interested not in the gem within the box, but in the gorgeously adorned wooden box containing the gem. The truly invaluable gem lies within people's hearts. If we do not protect the gem in our hearts, but blindly pursue the externally decorated wooden box, are we not like the people of Zhang State buying the casket and returning the jewel? 回应天启，走出迷途. Responding to the revelation, finding the way out. Xiefeng, August 16, 2005. Translation edited by Qinyu. A lightning bolt streaks across the expansive sky, accompanied by distant rolling thunder, foretelling an impending storm. On September 11th, the towering and sturdy World Trade Center collapsed abruptly, trapping people inside. If someone had warned those inside the building of its imminent collapse and urged them to evacuate, would they have heeded the advice? Nonsense. How could such a solid world-class building collapse? They might have replied in disbelief. Humans, how much do you understand the mysteries of the universe? How much do you comprehend? Why don't you respond to the revelations? Someone explicitly tells you that he is a messenger of the greatest creator. Here too, harvest the crops, yet you mock, ridicule, and scorn him. Even when, in humility, he kneels before you as a commoner, begging for your response to the revelations, you continue to mock, ridicule, and scorn. The immense love of the greatest creator for humanity, the care from God Jesus Christ and Buddha Shakyamuni for humanity, have been clearly and evidently revealed to you. Do you desire wealth or life? Life or your status, wealth and reputation? Which is more important? There was a notorious pirate who amassed countless treasures. One day, he was caught. In court, he arrogantly told the judge, "I have countless treasures. I'm willing to give up 1/3 of my wealth to buy my freedom." The judge replied, "You've committed robbery and murder. Your wealth cannot buy your freedom." "Judge, I'm willing to give up all my treasures to save my life. You should know, my wealth is enough for the whole nation to spend for 3 years. People die for wealth. Birds perish for food. Don't people love wealth?" The pirate began pleading. The judge resolutely replied, "Debts must be repaid, and life must pay for murder. Your wealth wasn't rightfully earned. It was plundered. The law is not negotiable. I declare that tomorrow at 3 in the afternoon, you will be hanged." The pirate, with tears of regret, lamented, "Had I known that wealth couldn't spare my life, why did I strive so ardently to amass it?" Human laws are not child's play. They cannot be bargained with, let alone the laws of the greatest creator. Don't be stubborn, do not falter, do not retreat midway, do not be captured by demons. Ignite the divine lamp within your heart, seize the moment. Transcend the shackles of life and death, reclaim your true nature, discard conventional thinking, advance at superluminal speeds, abandon all possessions, firmly believe in the journey of life. Don't look around, do not heed others' words, do not run with the crowd, do not feel lonely and forsaken. The key to opening the gates of heaven lies in your hands. You need only ponder quietly, listen to the guidance of your inner spirit. Don't wait for torrential rains to build an ark. Do not wait for the Titanic to hit an iceberg to search for life jackets. Do not wait to see a bombing plane before rushing out of the building. Once everything becomes apparent, it's too late. Your eastern land, due to its vastness, sparse population, and abundant resources, has fallen into a state of excessive greed, rampant killing, widespread falsehoods, and deceitfulness. Many are unfaithful, unfilial, unkind, and unjust. Now, I bring the Tripitaka, capable of transcending life and death, to save all beings. Your eastern land, ignoring the Tripitaka Buddha scriptures, your sky is low, your earth thin, your resources scant, and your population dense. You do not believe in gods, Buddhas, despise laws and heaven. Yet you still indulge in excessive greed, rampant killing, widespread falsehoods, and deceitfulness. Many are unfaithful, unfilial, unkind, and unjust. Your eastern land disregards Buddhas and the greatest creators, unaware of how to be human. Ears but deaf, hearts but void, as fragile as paper, as lofty as the sky, spirits desolate, hearts like stones, still stubbornly refusing to heed teachings, superficially humble, but inwardly arrogant. I now call again, hoping for a response to the revelations, a return from the misguided path. If delayed or procrastinated, divine punishment will follow. The vast heavens perceive your hearts. The myriad gods know your names. The sun, moon, and cosmic laws observe your deeds. In the vast expanse of existence, life takes precedence. In the limitless desert, retracing steps leads to the oasis. Every millennium is but a fleeting moment. The righteous path is the only way. Respond to the revelations and find your way out of the maze. Others may doubt. I believe. Xiefeng. Translation edited by Qinyu. A friend from Tianjin visited my office the day before yesterday and inquired about matters related to space and time. I asked him why he was interested in such questions. He said, "Not long ago, I had a dream. My grandfather appeared and told me that after using the toilet, he suddenly fainted before standing up, unable to get up. He said he was leaving and urged us to live well while he waited. The next day, my father called from China, saying my grandfather had passed away. He told me my grandfather had collapsed and passed away while using the toilet. I found it quite strange. How could my dream about my grandfather match the actual events? What's going on with time and space?" I asked him if he had watched the Life Genuine section on Chinese soul, and he mentioned that he had seen some of it. However, due to the extensive content, he hadn't watched it all. I responded, "Your grandfather left this physical space and entered another dimension of life. Due to his concern for you, he conveyed his inner thoughts to you through a dream before departing from this space. This is entirely normal. Your elevated spiritual sensitivity allowed you to connect with your grandfather's thoughts. There's nothing mysterious about it." Taking the opportunity, I asked, "Do you believe in the immortality of the soul and in the existence of other dimensions of life apart from our current space?" He replied, "While others may doubt, I believe." Belief, such a mysterious and profound word. Peter, a disciple of Jesus, walked on water because of belief, but almost drowned when he saw the wind and waves and lost belief. Those with belief are blessed. Those without belief are miserable. Those with belief have roots. Those without belief are like floating duckweeds. Those with belief know how to navigate life. Those without belief randomly fly like headless flies. Those with belief are humble. Those without belief are arrogant. Those with belief have a bright future. Those without belief have a bleak one. What to believe in? Believe in facts. Believe in what you see, hear, and experience. Whom to believe in? Believe in Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Laozi, and the sages. What to believe in? Believe in the negative universe information sensed by your spiritual perception. Whom to believe in? Believe in the greatest creator. Many people doubt everything, do not believe in anything, lack faith in themselves, and have no confidence. Some start with belief, but, swayed by phenomena and others' opinions, lose faith even in facts. They cannot sustain their faith, vacillating between belief and doubt until they believe in nothing. Some seem to believe but harbor doubts, so when confronted with storms, they lose their foothold and are devoured by demons. Some people's faith is mere lip service, steering with the wind, changing with their immediate self-interest. In reality, their hearts lack genuine belief. Today, they believe when it's advantageous, and tomorrow, they do not when it's not. How can one live without faith? What is the purpose of such a life? Where is it headed? Job in the Bible is an exemplar of faith. Apostle Paul is an exemplar of faith, and several bodhisattvas in Buddhism have also set examples of faith for us. Many believers in Islam are also exemplars of faith. Without faith, one cannot stand firm. I said to my friend, "Your dream aligning with reality can be considered a revelation. While the world may harbor doubts, you cannot afford to. Doubting would betray your grandfather's wishes and the revelation. In the end, my friend reiterated, while others may harbor doubts, I remain steadfast in my belief. Friend, do you also believe? 于无声处响惊雷. Shocking thunderclap in silence. Xiefeng. August 16, 2005. Translation edited by Chinyu. That was a day on the Christmas of the previous year. I was driving a van, transporting 8 employees from my store to a fast food restaurant and bar I owned, about 10 kilometers away, to celebrate Christmas. Just as we pulled up to the entrance of the bar, we heard a clack sound, and the left front